everybody, it's Michelle, and today I've got for you a HIIT style mat Pilates circuit workout using a set of yoga blocks. So how it's going to work is we're going to do 4 different circuits. Each one will have 3 exercises. We'll repeat each of those circuits twice through, and we'll alternate between 45 seconds of work and 15 seconds of rest / preparing for the next exercise. Okay, so we're gonna get our heart rates up and have a lot of fun. So let's get started. We're gonna start with 1 block only, standing up on your mat. So our first set of exercises are going to be done all standing. We're going to be holding the block between our 2 hands. Stand with your feet wide. Now keep a nice squeeze on the block all throughout. And you're going to feel your shoulders and your pecs and your arms working quite a bit. So first exercise, we're going to reach the block to the floor as we take a deep squat. Bend your elbows and press the block to the ceiling. So we reach down and then up. Good. Lower and then lift. Good. Now you take all these exercises at your own pace. Okay, listen to your body, and I'll be giving some modifications throughout so that you can adjust as needed for you today. All right. Good. Now really drop into a nice low squat. Try to keep the back long. Get that nice fold at the hips. So it's almost like a bicep curl coming through center and then reach. That's it. Good. Feel stacked with the ribs over the hips at the top. Good. Last 2. And then last 1. Very good. All right, 15 seconds to switch over to our next exercise. You're going to stand, reaching the block to the ceiling. Now, bend your elbows, march 1 knee up, and you're going to rotate towards the lifted leg, and then replace. Other side. Exhale, lift and twist, and then return. Good. Nice. So maybe we start slow while we kind of get the flow of the exercise, and then you're welcome to speed up to build up on the challenge. Good. Now for this one, if you need a little bit of a modification, you're welcome to eliminate the twist, yes, or even eliminate the lift of the legs and just do the upper body, yeah? Now try not to let up on the pressure on the block. Good. That's going to give us that nice sustained burn for the upper body. Good. You can almost feel like you're trying to squeeze the block more as you bend your elbows. And then go ahead and rest. All right, last exercise of this circuit. We're going to stand wide, reach the block out in front of us, find the connection with the shoulders, find a squat, and you're going to let the block go behind your head as the elbows bend, and then return. Good. So almost like a skull crusher kind of an action with the arms. So you want to leave your elbows nice and narrow, kind of tucked in by your temples. Good. And then the deeper the squeeze on that block, the more you're going to feel the backs of the arms and the shoulders working. Very good. So still that same deep squat that we found earlier, but just changing it up with the angle of the spine. So you may have to lean forward a little more so the block can clear the head. Very nice. Let's do last 2. And last 1. All right. Okay, reset, and we're going to repeat that one last time. So back to the beginning. We stand wide, squeeze the block, reach it to the floor, squat, curl and press. Down and press. Good. So different than if we were holding some weights, for example, when we did this. That would be working more the biceps and the top of the shoulder. Since we're squeezing in, we get work for the front and the pecs, all that good stuff. Oh, so good. Couple more. So now maybe on our second time through on all these circuits, maybe we can go for a little bit more speed, fit in some more reps now that we're getting more comfortable. Very good, you guys. 10 more seconds. Finding your deepest squat. Good. Last 1. Whew. And then take a rest. Very good. All right. Step your feet in a little bit so you're about hip width apart. Block reaches to the ceiling. Inhale to get ready. Now we twist, march, and rotate, and then come back up. We bend the elbows and lift. Now try not to crunch down and get shorter in order to get the elbow to the knee. So you want to stay tall and you make that knee come up to you and up. Good, super tall spine. You almost get taller on the twist. Very good. Remembering the modifications we talked about, you can eliminate the leg lift, eliminate the twist. Yes, whatever makes this doable for you today. Okay, we got about 10 more seconds. Maybe go for a little more speed if you'd like. For 4, 3, 2, and then last one. Good. All right, last exercise in our first circuit. Reach the arms out, ribs over hips, re-engage on the block. Here we go. Raise the arms high, get those elbows way up so you can clear the back of the head, and then return. Good. So the elbows and knees are bending together, stretching together. Very good. Check in with your rib cage. Make sure it's not jutting forward unnecessarily. Yeah, keep a little bit of a tether between the ribs and the hips. There's that nice engagement. Very good. Come back to your breath. Breathing in through your nose is going to help you kind of slow down your respiration, catch your breath if you need to. All right, last two. And last one. Oh, well done, you guys. All right, so that was one whole set. Now we're going to come down onto our mat and work more on our glutes and the backs of our legs. So first exercise down on the mat. Take your block and you're going to place it on your mat. You can put it however is comfortable, sideways or long ways. You just want both of your feet to fit comfortably on it, side by side. And then you're going to lay on your back, put your ankles and knees together with your feet centered on the block. Okay, now you want your sitting bones pretty close, not touching, but close-ish to the block. Now separate your knees about 45 degrees, so they're about shoulder width apart. Now we're going to do a hip roll, so tuck the tail, lift the hips. Now by the time I get to the top of my bridge, I'm going to close the knees back to touch, and then as I roll down, I'm going to let them go back to that 45-degree separation, yeah? Scoop and lift, squeeze, and then lower. Very good. So it's almost like we're lifting and trying to squeeze a water balloon between our kneecaps and then lower. Good. So really try to find that sequential articulation through the spine and feel how that connection of the inner thighs and the glutes work together. Good. Let's do this one last time. Roll through the spine and then lower. Very good. All right, now move the block so it's underneath just one foot, okay? Get your whole foot on it. Now reach your free leg out in front of you. You're gonna bend your knee and drag your toes along the mat. Now you're gonna lift your hips, reach the foot to the ceiling, flex your ankle, and set your body and leg back down. So it's almost like a bicycle kick kind of action. So I bend to press up, and then the long leg floats down. Very good, you guys. Lift, and then lower. Push into the arms. Good. Now on the way down, if you set your spine and your leg down at the same time, it's a lot more challenging. Yes, if your body goes down first and then your leg, it's a little bit easier. So that's a way to add to the challenge, yeah? Last one. Very good. All right, now just repeat the same thing on the other side. So scoot your block over, line it up with that hip. Other leg is long, widen across the collarbones. Okay, here we go. Bend the knee, drag your toes in along the mat to press up, flex the ankle, and lower down, yeah? So just kind of like a bicycle pedal, action with that working leg. Lift, and then lower. That's it. Now hopefully your hip bones are staying level with each other. Yeah, make sure they're not out of alignment. Whew, that's a lot of work for that bent knee, that glute is working so hard to lift the whole body up and then down. By the time the hips are up, that leg is fully straight. Last one. Amazing. All right, now we'll repeat that. Bring the block back to center, ankles together, slight angle out with the knees. You don't want it huge and flopping because otherwise that relaxes the inner thigh. So a very small gap. Here we go. Tuck under. So now maybe on our second time through, we're flowing through these a little bit swifter. Good, so we can fit in some more reps. Good, so exhaling on the roll up, inhaling on the roll down. Yeah, that's kind of tricky on the coordination to speed this up. So good challenge for us. Scoop and lift, good. Those ankle bones stay together. Curl and then down. So good. So getting that little external rotation of the hip at the bottom and then squeeze together. Good, you guys. Let's do 2 more. Float and lower. Last one. Very good. All right, move the block under one foot. Okay, if you don't feel like you're getting enough hip lift, try moving the block a little closer to you. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can reverse the leg action this time, just for fun. So we're gonna lift up with the leg straight, bend the knee at the top, scoop and drag the toes back forward to reset. So we kick and lift, bend and slide away. Lift, bend and slide. That's it. So the mechanics of the block leg are the same. The working leg just has to reverse, which is a little bit tricky sometimes for our brain to latch onto. So do your best. If you need to go back to how we did it before, that is totally fine. Yeah, make the body and the leg lift up at the same time. 2, and then last one. Very good. All right, move that block over to your other foot. New leg is long. Here we go. So we kick and float the leg up in 1 count, bend and slide away. Good. Exhale and then inhale. Good. Back stays strong. So make sure we're not arching the back or popping the ribs to get more height, okay? If we get any more height, it's from this supporting leg glute. And then lower. Good. Lift and lower, trying to smooth this out as best we can. That's it. Good. Making sure that the angle of this bent knee is directed straight over the toes. Good. No splaying out to the side. Last 2. And last one. Well done, you guys. All right. Okay, we did it. Circuit number 2 is done. So next, we're going to continue to be on our back, but work our abdominals. So first exercise here, take the block, lie down on your backs, lift your right leg to tabletop, place the block against your knee. It can be facing whatever way you like. Now take your left elbow and pin it to the other side of the block. So opposite arm as leg. Now take your hands behind your head so you're in this rotation and reach your left leg to the ceiling. Good. Now keep as much squeeze on the block from the 2 sides as you can, and you're going to lower the leg and lift the leg. Drop and then lift. So not easy. Keeping this connection through the obliques. Now when the leg lowers, we don't want to feel like we lose pressure on the block. If it falls, you'll know that's what happened. Now if this is too challenging, feel free to lay down and just press your hands into the block instead, or you can do this with a slightly bent knee. Okay? Let's do 2 more. Now to add to the challenge, drop the leg and stay. And I want you to do little micro presses into the block with your elbow. Now the block is solid, so it's not going to move, but pretend like it was a wet sponge and you're trying to squish water out of it. 3, 2, 1, and then relax. All right, same thing on the other side. So now it's going to be our left leg up. Right elbow is going to pin onto the block. Try to get that right shoulder blade off the floor. Hands to the head, right leg high, and then we drop and lift. Yeah, so be strict with yourself. Move slow enough so that you can feel if you lose any pressure on the block and kind of course correct. That's it, good. Make sure it doesn't feel like your low back is getting pulled off of the mat when your leg lowers. You want to keep that connection. Very good, you guys. Now pause at the bottom and hold. Do your little squeezes in on the block. Now if this is too intense, feel free to set your long leg down. Yes, we'll do 3 more. 2, 1, and then come on down. Oh, amazing. All right, last exercise here. Put the block between your ankles, facing whatever way you like. Hands behind the head. Okay, we're gonna flex our spine and straighten our legs all at once, and then lay your body down. Okay, take this nice and slow so that we have a lot of time to find that position, really lower the legs, and then return. Now you're welcome to just do the upper body or just do the lower body if both together is a little bit much. Okay, so pick the version that works best for you. Good, really get your shoulder blades off the floor, not just your head. Last one, and then come down. Oh, all right, one time down, one more to go. So here we go, right leg up, left elbow onto the block, rotate. Try to really open your back elbow towards the floor. Free leg reaches. Here we go, exhale, lower. Inhale, float. That's it, good. Only increase the speed if you're feeling really solid with your connection onto the block, okay? That's kind of number one focus. Bending the knee is a great modification to lessen the load just a little bit. Or remember, head down is another good choice. Hands on the block. All right, almost done. And then we're gonna hold for our pulses in whatever version is working for you. Now we pause and we do our squeezes. Squeezes, try to wring out that sponge with your elbow. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and then rest. Awesome. Okay, that's not as easy as it looks. Okay, here we go. Left leg, right elbow. We can do this. Almost done with this set, okay? So hands behind the head. Feel solid through your core. Float the free leg. Here we go. Drop and then lift. Yes, no need to rush through it. It won't make us get done any sooner, okay? So just kind of live in it, feel it, and keep going. Down and then lift. Good. Feel so solid between that elbow and knee. No wobbles. Good. Almost done, you guys. Remembering our modifications, hands on or elbow bent. All right, let's do 3 more lift and lowers, and then we'll hold for our pulses. 2. Pause at the bottom, and we pulse in, in, in. Breathing 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Awesome. All right, last one of this set. We're so close to being done. Okay, block between the ankles, hands behind the head. Inhale to get ready. Exhale, everything goes together. Legs and spine, squeeze the block even tighter, and then lower down. Yeah, this is one where I would encourage you to really slow down rather than rush through it. Yeah, get the benefit of finding and holding those low legs. Good. No head is a great modification, or no legs, just the upper body. So good, you guys. Couple more, then we get a little break between sets. Curl and then lower. So good. Let's do 3 more. We can do it, I promise. 2 and last one. Amazing, you guys. Oh, we made it. Next circuit, we're going to need both of our blocks, and it's going to be more focused on our arms and our shoulders. All right. First exercise here, you're going to stand both blocks up on their end like this. So they're as tall as they can be. If you need to modify, you can flip them down so they're not as tall. Okay, having them up gives us a nice range of motion. So place them about shoulder width apart, and then set your body back a little bit. Your hips are over your knees and your arms are extended out in front of you. Now leave the blocks solid, don't let them tip around, and you're just going to bend the elbows, aim them towards the floor, and then stretch to come back up. So we inhale on the way down, exhale to return. Very good. Now if your elbows can touch the floor, cool, that's great. Do that, or just go as low as you possibly can. Now make sure the ribs aren't sticking out as the elbows drop. Keep them connected. Yes, if you're having difficulty, sit your hips even further back over your feet, and that will lessen the amount of weight in the arms. Good. You can play around with the angle of your hands on the blocks if you need to make this more comfortable. Very good. Last one. All right, okay, whew, feeling that. So now flip your blocks down so that they're more flat, and then separate them a little bit wider than shoulders. So maybe like mat width apart. Now you can do this on your feet or on your knees. Wider feet is easier. Start with your hands up on the blocks. Now one by one, you're gonna step the hands inside of the blocks to the mat, and then step them back up to the blocks. Down, down, up, up. Good. So changing levels here while shifting the rest of the body as little as possible. So the more your hips waggle and wobble around, the more your body is shifting to make this easier. But if you hold steady, whew, so difficult. Place your knees down if you're having trouble. Speed it up if you want to make it more challenging. Let's do 2 more. And then last one. Whew. Awesome, awesome. Okay, very last exercise. You're gonna place the blocks together like this, kind of fuse them into one long rectangle, and then place that down in front of you and set your elbows on top on either side, okay? Now walk back into kind of a wide-footed plank. Maybe your feet are a little closer to you than in a normal plank, so your hips can be up a little bit. Now lift your tail high, rotate and drop. So one hip is looking at the floor, and then come high to go to the other side. So it's almost like you're drawing a rainbow with your tail from side to side. Good. So really let your feet move however they need to allow your hip to get low. So for me, I'm turning my feet, dropping my heels to the floor every time. Okay, if you're having trouble, just hold a plank instead. Good. Let's do a few more. Don't let your blocks move around. You might have to step your feet in from time to time if they're slipping. 2 and 1. Whew. Amazing. All right. Just one more time. So stand those blocks back up on their tall end, shoulder width apart, hips back over knees. Here we go. Drop and press. So good. So if somebody brought a tape measure and measured the space between your lowest rib and your hip bone, that space wouldn't change throughout this whole exercise, okay? So those 2 points keep their relationship. Very good. Now maybe you can go for a little bit more speed this second time through, or see if your elbows can touch the floor. Try to progress it a little bit from our first time around, okay? That was kind of the feeling out stage. Now we're really going hard, down and up. So good. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Awesome. All right, so tip the blocks down. Separate them a little wider. So you want your hands to be shoulder width apart when they step down. All right, so pick your poison, either knees down or knees up. Here we go. Down, down, up, up. You can do the same hand first every time, or you can alternate. It's all good. Very good. So our body is adjusting to these weight shifts, the level change through the hands. Yeah. So it's really good for our body. We're kind of tricking it and giving it a lot to think about. Very good. The less rotation of the pelvis, the better. All right, you guys, almost done. Maybe go a little faster, because why not? That's fun. Whoop, my block almost tipped over. Last 2. And last one. Whew. All right. Okay, we did it. We made it to our very last exercise, so that's exciting. All right, put your blocks together, end to end. Place them on the mat, elbows down. All right, hips slightly elevated, feet on the floor, and now we just dip and lift, alternating sides. And up. So you stretch out that waistline, and then we contract and lift out of that stretch. So good for our obliques, our abdominals, and the shoulders for sure. And down. That's it, you guys. Good. Keep going strong. If this is too much, hold a plank either on your feet or on your knees. That's it. Almost done. If your feet are squeaky like mine, that's okay. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Whew. Oh my goodness. Good job, you guys. We did it. All right, let's take a quick little stretch for our shoulders because that was a lot there at the end. So take your blocks back up on their end like we did for our tricep touches. Now, hands on the blocks and just sit your hips back to your heels and drop your chest towards the floor. Good, and you should get a nice stretch for underneath the shoulders. Very good. You can kind of reach one arm more forward and then the other, kind of tipping the blocks onto their edge a little bit so you get a little extra length under either side. Good. Now come up and let's take a quick little thigh stretch. So come up, turn the blocks, keeping them on their tall end. Step one foot forward and then just set the blocks on the floor on either side of that front leg. And then just take some gentle little rocks forward and then back. Yeah, so you can use the blocks here to support you so we don't have to hold our own weight up so much. Just allow that back thigh to lengthen. Very good. Now, if you want to sit back on your back heel and lengthen your front leg, you can get a little hamstring stretch, kind of picking your toes up off the floor, if that feels good. Good. Hang your head over that shin, and then let's come up. And we'll switch legs. So bring your new foot through. You might have to adjust the foot or the blocks till it feels just right. And then take some nice little rocks into the stretch and then out. Good. If you think of engaging your abdominals a little bit, you'll get more of that stretch through the thigh. Good. Try to slow your breathing down. We did a lot of work there. Now on your last one, if you'd like, you can shift back. You might have to move the blocks with you a little bit. You're going to lean your hips back over your heel. It's okay if your hips don't touch your foot. Just go as far as you like. Lift your toes off the mat, and then let your head try to hang between your arms. All right, take one last breath here, and then help yourself up out of that stretch. And with that, we are done. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class using our yoga blocks. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave it a like below. Leave me a comment if you have any feedback or requests. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, and please share this video with a friend. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.